Yamaha just shook up the cruiser market with a game-changing move. Affordable, bold, and forcing rivals to scramble. No press tours, no hype, just a motorcycle that redefines the industry. This isn't just about riding, it's about your wallet and the future of the motorcycle world. How will Harley and Indian react? What's happening? In an era where other manufacturers rushed to bring out models that echoed their storied pasts, Yamaha observed, they didn't make headlines with flashy releases or emotional marketing campaigns. Instead, they let the competition race ahead, building their products on the same formulas that had worked for decades and, more importantly, building them at increasingly higher price points. Yamaha, however, stayed out of the fray. It wasn't a lack of action. It was purposeful silence. Yamaha's decision not to rush into the cruiser market wasn't about inaction, it was about calculated patience. They recognized that the market was changing and that the cruiser segment was no longer as rooted in tradition as it once was. The core consumer base was evolving. Young riders, city dwellers, and new motorcyclists were looking for something more than just chrome and nostalgia. Yamaha knew that to succeed, it couldn't just follow the pack, it had to create something that resonated with the new generation of riders. While Harley and Indian doubled down on premium models that raised prices year after year, Yamaha took a step back and studied the market. What they saw were brands that had started to overcomplicate their offerings. Harley, for instance, continued to raise its prices, adding more chrome and heritage-heavy elements to their models. Indian, too, responded with powerful bikes aimed at higher-end customers, but increasingly detached from the needs of first-time or budget-conscious riders. Yamaha recognized this gap and quietly waited for the right moment to strike. In hindsight, Yamaha's move seems more like a masterstroke than a reactive decision. By observing the missteps of its competitors, Yamaha had the foresight to see that a new type of rider was emerging, one who valued simplicity and functionality over legacy. By avoiding the trap of overspending on vintage-themed designs and exaggerated marketing tactics, Yamaha positioned itself to step into the market with a product that spoke directly to this new audience, affordable, simple, and built for everyday use. But as Yamaha quietly observed, they have created a pricing strategy that is as daring as it is revolutionary. If you like this video so far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned. A game changer in affordability. A full-size cruiser under $10,000? Yamaha just broke the mold. In an industry where many cruisers are priced well over $15,000, Yamaha's pricing strategy for the Bolt R-Spec is nothing short of a game changer. For years, the cruiser segment has been a battle of prestige, with Harley and Indian commanding high prices for their models, often citing luxury, performance, and brand legacy as justification. But Yamaha is rewriting those rules by offering a cruiser that delivers solid performance, quality craftsmanship, and modern design at an incredibly accessible price point. Yamaha's ability to offer the Bolt R-Spec at under $10,000 is the result of a strategy that combines smart manufacturing, global supply chains, and a focus on what matters most to consumers: value. Instead of loading the bike with unnecessary features or focusing on flashy, high-cost elements, Yamaha has cut away the excess, delivering only what riders actually need. This efficient approach to production allows Yamaha to maintain high-quality standards while keeping costs down, making the Bolt R-Spec an attractive choice for riders who want performance without breaking the bank. But Yamaha's move is more than just about affordability. It's about creating value. The Bolt R-Spec isn't a stripped-down model designed to meet a price point. It's a complete cruiser that delivers everything a rider could want in terms of performance, comfort, and modern features. It forces competitors like Harley and Indian to rethink their own pricing models. Yamaha has not only set a new standard for pricing, it has challenged the very notion that cruisers must be expensive to be desirable. Yamaha's pricing left the competition scrambling. A new competitor was quietly making strides: Royal Enfield. Their approach to affordability, simplicity, and minimalism was resonating with riders in a way that could reshape the market entirely. We dug through dozens of gear options so you don't have to. Everything that actually works, tested, trusted, and ready, is linked for you down in the description. Royal Enfield's unexpected strength. Royal Enfield's minimalism might be what Yamaha needs to watch out for. While many are focused on the battle between Yamaha, Harley, and Indian, Royal Enfield has carved out a niche that none of these brands are fully addressing. With its simple, affordable approach, Royal Enfield is attracting a different kind of rider, one who values function over excess and who is looking for a bike that offers the feel of a classic without the weight of luxury pricing. Yamaha has caught wind of this and is now trying to position itself to capture not only traditional cruiser buyers, but also the minimalist, value-driven segment that Royal Enfield has dominated in recent years. Royal Enfield's no-frills approach to cruiser design has resonated with riders who aren't interested in the chrome-heavy, performance-first models that dominate the industry. Instead, these riders appreciate simplicity, practicality, and affordability, all of which Royal Enfield delivers. The Meteor 350 and Interceptor 650 are prime examples of this strategy. These bikes aren't faster or flashier than Yamaha's offerings, but they give riders what they need: reliability, ease of use, and a design that doesn't try too hard to impress. In markets like Southeast Asia and Latin America, where Yamaha has also made a push, Royal Enfield's rise serves as a reminder that affordability and simplicity are powerful selling points. While Yamaha's focus has been on modernizing the cruiser segment with new technology and accessibility, Royal Enfield has built a brand based on raw, classic bike aesthetics, offering something that feels timeless yet affordable. This simplicity is now influencing Yamaha's strategy as it considers how to position itself globally. Yamaha is well aware that while it is disrupting the U.S. market with its affordability, the real test will come when it takes on companies like Royal Enfield that are also creating affordable, no-nonsense machines that speak to a more practical and minimalistic kind of rider. Royal Enfield's rise wasn't the only surprise. Kawasaki, while under the radar, had been sharpening its own edge, preparing for a fight in the cruiser segment without the fanfare that usually accompanies such bold moves. We don't just cover motorcycle launches, we unpack the strategy behind them. If you've ever felt priced out or ignored by the big brands, subscribing here might be the best move you make all year. Kawasaki's Quiet Challenge. Kawasaki isn't waiting for Yamaha to stumble, they're building a stealthy counterattack. While Yamaha has made waves in the US market, Kawasaki has been steadily refining its own cruiser offerings, with the Vulcan S being one of the standout models. Unlike Harley and Indian, Kawasaki isn't attempting to fight Yamaha head-on with flashy marketing or nostalgic branding. Instead, they've focused on delivering a well-designed, customizable, and affordable cruiser that appeals to a broader audience. The Vulcan S, with its adjustable ergonomics, offers a unique advantage. Riders of all sizes can tailor the bike to their comfort, something that sets it apart in a market where other bikes often come with rigid, one-size-fits-all designs. Kawasaki's strategy focuses on providing solid performance at an accessible price, which is increasingly becoming the benchmark that Yamaha has set. With a parallel twin engine and a price point that rivals Yamaha's Bolt R-Spec, the Vulcan S appeals to a demographic looking for flexibility in both performance and comfort. Kawasaki has learned from the missteps of Harley and Indian, offering a well-rounded cruiser that doesn't rely on heavy branding or nostalgia to sell. Instead, Kawasaki provides a balanced bike that's easy to ride, comfortable, and priced right. While Yamaha's disruptive move in the US has certainly made waves, Kawasaki's Quiet Challenge may prove to be just as significant, especially as the cruiser market continues to shift toward affordability and customization. Yamaha's recent moves have reshaped the American market, but the true test of their strategy lies in how well they can adapt and thrive on a global scale. Kawasaki's strategic positioning may have been subtle, but the ripple effects of Yamaha's affordability revolution were already being felt. As the price war began, the entire cruiser market started to shift. The entire manufacturing and supply chain structure had to adapt, and Yamaha's strategic foresight proved to be a powerful weapon. Labor and supply chain consequences. If you think this is just about motorcycles, think again. Yamaha's move could impact the entire labor market. While much of the focus on Yamaha's pricing strategy has been on how it disrupts the cruiser market and shakes up the competitive landscape, the ripple effects extend far beyond the showroom floor. The impact of Yamaha's pricing strategy will be felt across labor markets, manufacturing sectors, and global supply chains. Yamaha's ability to deliver a high-quality cruiser at an affordable price point is due in large part to its efficient manufacturing model. By leveraging global supply chains, Yamaha has been able to source materials, components, and parts from around the world, significantly reducing production costs. Unlike Harley and Indian, which rely on domestic production and higher labor costs, Yamaha has been able to build an international network of suppliers, which allows it to lower costs without compromising quality. This efficiency has allowed Yamaha to streamline its production process, reduce waste, and ultimately offer a competitive product at a price point that was once thought impossible. One of the key components of Yamaha's strategy is its use of modular platforms. By designing bikes using interchangeable parts that can be used across multiple models, Yamaha reduces the complexity of its production lines and maximizes efficiency. This strategy allows them to spread costs across a wide range of products, helping keep prices low while maintaining high standards of performance and reliability. For competitors, this approach represents a significant challenge, as they will have to either adopt similar strategies or continue with their more traditional production methods. However, Yamaha's success in streamlining its production and sourcing materials from a variety of regions comes with potential labor market consequences. In countries where unions and labor standards are strong, such as in the United States, the pricing shift could lead to difficult conversations about wages and working conditions. Companies like Harley-Davidson may struggle to justify their high prices when Yamaha is able to produce motorcycles at a fraction of the cost. This could lead to a reassessment of labor costs in the US and Europe, potentially causing tension between manufacturers and unions that have long enjoyed high wages in the motorcycle industry. While Yamaha leveraged global efficiency to its advantage, the larger impact was being felt by the consumers who were starting to shift their expectations, paving the way for a new era of motorcycle ownership. The consumer revolution. What happens when consumers realize they don't have to spend a fortune to get what they want? Yamaha's strategy is not just about motorcycles, it's about changing the way consumers view the entire cruiser market. For decades, cruiser bikes have been marketed as luxury items, with high price tags that position them as products for the elite. Yamaha has completely upended that paradigm by offering a cruiser that is affordable, reliable, and accessible to a much broader audience. The shift in consumer behavior that Yamaha's new cruiser is driving is profound. More riders, particularly younger generations, are no longer willing to spend exorbitant amounts of money on a cruiser just for the sake of brand prestige. Instead, they are prioritizing affordability, reliability, and value. Yamaha's entry-level cruiser perfectly aligns with these new priorities, offering a high-quality ride without the inflated price tag that has traditionally been associated with cruisers. Yamaha's move appeals particularly to younger urban riders who are looking for an alternative to the more expensive options from Harley and Indian. These consumers are often first-time buyers who may not have the disposable income to spend on a premium bike. For them, Yamaha's affordability is a game-changer. It provides them with an entry point into the cruiser market without the financial burden, and in many cases, it offers a more practical and user-friendly option compared to the larger, more complex bikes offered by Harley and Indian. Additionally, Yamaha's cruiser models are designed with modern conveniences that younger riders expect. From clean, minimalist designs to advanced tech features, Yamaha has ensured that its bikes are not just affordable, but also equipped with the kind of performance and technology that today's riders demand. Whether it's fuel efficiency, ease of maintenance, or smartphone connectivity, Yamaha has crafted a bike that resonates with the needs and expectations of the modern rider. As consumer behavior shifted, the financial world began to take notice. Yamaha's strategy wasn't just affecting sales, it was sending shockwaves through stock markets and investment portfolios. prompting analysts to reconsider the future of motorcycling. What this means for investors. As Yamaha shakes up the cruiser market, investors are starting to sit up and take notice. The launch of Yamaha's affordable cruiser is not just a move in the motorcycle industry, it's a statement to the financial world about how the industry is evolving. For investors, the potential implications of Yamaha's success go far beyond the immediate sales numbers. This shift in the market is part of a broader trend toward affordability and practicality in the motorcycle market, and those who fail to recognize it may miss out on a significant opportunity. From an investment perspective, Yamaha's new strategy represents a shift toward scalability and operational efficiency. Investors are likely to be drawn to Yamaha's ability to produce high-quality bikes at a competitive price while also maintaining healthy profit margins. This efficiency could set Yamaha up for long-term growth, especially as they expand into new markets and continue to capture a larger share of the cruiser segment. For competitors, Yamaha's success presents a dilemma. Harley-Davidson and Indian have long relied on premium pricing and brand loyalty. But as Yamaha proves, consumers are willing to sacrifice brand prestige for a more affordable, practical option. This is a wake-up call for investors in these companies. The pricing power that Harley and Indian once enjoyed is no longer as secure, and investors will have to reassess whether their traditional business models are sustainable in the face of Yamaha's disruption. Yamaha's success on the financial front is undeniable, but the true scope of their strategy reaches far beyond profitability. The company's global ambitions are beginning to take shape, and their focus on emerging markets could reshape the motorcycle industry as we know it. Yamaha's global strategy. Yamaha's plan isn't just about the US market, it's about dominating the world stage. When Yamaha unveiled its affordable cruiser, it wasn't just targeting American riders, it was positioning itself as a dominant global force. Emerging markets such as Southeast Asia, Latin America, and Europe have long been a focus for Yamaha, and the Bolt R-Spec is a key component of this strategy. Southeast Asia is a prime market for Yamaha. The region has a rapidly growing middle class with a strong appetite for motorcycles, but the consumers there are looking for affordability and practicality. The Bolt R-Spec's price point fits perfectly into this demand. Yamaha's decades of experience in Southeast Asia, with production facilities already established in countries like Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam, gives the company a logistical advantage in reaching this market quickly and efficiently. In addition, the region is already familiar with Yamaha's image of reliable and affordable motorcycles, which is why the Bolt R-Spec will likely capture a significant share of this market. Similarly, Latin America represents a burgeoning opportunity for Yamaha. Countries like Brazil, Argentina, and Mexico have seen an increase in motorcycle ownership as a means of affordable transportation. The cost of cars in these regions is often out of reach for many, and motorcycles are the ideal alternative. Yamaha has already established a strong presence in Latin America, and with the launch of their affordable cruiser, they are positioned to take advantage of a growing desire for high-quality, budget-friendly motorcycles. The Bolt R-Spec's blend of affordability, performance, and sleek design is perfect for consumers looking for a reliable ride without breaking the bank. In Europe, Yamaha's challenge is slightly different. The cruiser market here is dominated by a mix of premium brands like Harley-Davidson and Royal Enfield. However, Yamaha has been successful in Europe for years, especially with its sport and touring models. The Bolt R-Spec offers Yamaha a chance to appeal to a new generation of European riders who are looking for a stylish yet affordable alternative to the traditional cruiser. The European market, which places a high emphasis on practicality and environmental responsibility, will likely appreciate the efficient and clean design of the Bolt R-Spec. As Yamaha continues to expand its reach in these emerging markets, its strategic move will ensure the company's position as not just a leader in affordable cruisers, but a key player in the global motorcycle market. Yamaha's global expansion is ambitious, but with it comes a host of political and economic questions. Can Yamaha's pricing strategy influence not just the motorcycle industry, but global trade dynamics? If this has already changed how you see the motorcycle market, imagine what's coming next. Leave a comment, check the gear links below, and stay locked in, because the industry's just getting started. Political and economic shifts. Can Yamaha's pricing strategy reshape not just the motorcycle industry, but global trade itself? The impact of Yamaha's affordable cruiser extends far beyond the motorcycle market. It could have serious implications for global trade, tariffs, and the ever-evolving economic landscape. By offering a motorcycle at a price point that is significantly lower than its competitors, Yamaha is forcing both consumers and policymakers to reconsider what is possible in the industry. The political implications are already evident. In an age where trade wars and tariffs are becoming more common, Yamaha's ability to produce affordable motorcycles without sacrificing quality is a response to the changing dynamics of global manufacturing. While American manufacturers like Harley-Davidson have faced steep tariffs on parts imported from overseas, Yamaha's extensive global manufacturing footprint has allowed it to circumvent many of these issues. Yamaha has production facilities in various countries, including Thailand, Indonesia, and Vietnam, where labor costs are significantly lower than in the United States. By taking advantage of these more cost-efficient manufacturing processes, Yamaha can deliver a high-quality product at an affordable price while avoiding the added costs of tariffs on imported parts. This shift in manufacturing strategy could prompt other countries to reassess their own trade policies. Countries with high labor costs and strict environmental regulations might find it increasingly difficult to compete with manufacturers like Yamaha, who are utilizing international supply chains to lower costs and optimize production. In the long run, Yamaha's move could push other countries to reevaluate their labor and manufacturing practices to remain competitive on the global stage. This economic pressure could lead to political changes as governments try to support their own manufacturing industries in an increasingly globalized economy. Yamaha's pricing strategy also challenges the conventional model of luxury pricing in the motorcycle industry. By lowering the barrier to entry without compromising on quality, Yamaha is making motorcycles more accessible to a wider demographic. This is not just about attracting consumers in developed markets, but also about expanding into regions where motorcycles are essential for daily life, such as Southeast Asia and Latin America. The more affordable price point of the Bolt R-Spec could be the catalyst for a shift in consumer behavior, making motorcycles a viable option for a broader group of people across the globe. This could potentially spur growth in other sectors, such as motorcycle insurance, aftermarket parts, and maintenance services, as more people enter the market. As Yamaha's strategy challenges economic norms, the cruiser market itself faces a monumental shift. Is this just a temporary disruption, or are we witnessing the death of the classic cruiser as we know it? The end of an era? Yamaha's entry into the cruiser market with the Bolt R-Spec doesn't just mark a new product launch, it signals the end of an era for traditional cruiser design. The rise of more affordable, efficient, and user-friendly motorcycles is challenging the long-held belief that cruisers must be expensive, heavy, and steeped in nostalgia. For decades, cruisers have been associated with heavy chrome, vintage-inspired designs, and a premium price tag. Brands like Harley-Davidson and Indian have built their reputations around this image, catering to a loyal customer base that values tradition, culture, and craftsmanship. However, the modern rider is increasingly looking for something different, something that blends style with practicality, performance with affordability. Yamaha's Bolt R-Spec fits this demand perfectly. The question now is whether the traditional cruiser market can survive in its current form. Yamaha's move could be the beginning of a new phase for cruisers, one that focuses on efficiency, performance, and value rather than nostalgia and luxury. This shift in consumer expectations is already being felt in other sectors of the motorcycle industry, with manufacturers increasingly moving toward bikes that are lighter, more fuel-efficient, and easier to handle. The appeal of heavy chrome-laden bikes may be fading, especially as younger generations seek motorcycles that fit their urban lifestyles and environmental values. As the market for traditional cruisers shrinks, the future of the segment will depend on how well-established brands adapt. Harley-Davidson, for example, has made efforts to modernize its lineup with models like the Nightster, which is priced lower than its typical offerings, but it remains to be seen if these changes are enough to keep the brand relevant in the new era of motorcycling. Similarly, Indian faces the challenge of balancing its premium identity with the growing demand for more affordable, practical bikes. The potential end of the traditional cruiser may be just the beginning. The future of motorcycling is no longer just about legacy. It's about what's next, and Yamaha is positioning itself to lead the way. The future of motorcycling. This isn't just about Yamaha or Harley or Indian, this is about the future of motorcycling as we know it. The success of Yamaha's Bolt R-Spec could signal a major shift in the motorcycle industry, one that focuses on affordability, efficiency, and adaptability. As the market continues to evolve, manufacturers must rethink what it means to build a motorcycle that appeals to modern riders. The future of motorcycling will no longer be defined by loud engines and chrome finishes, but by practicality, efficiency, and accessibility. Yamaha's success in creating an affordable cruiser shows that the market is ready for a change. More riders are looking for bikes that are easy to handle, reliable, and fit into their daily lives, whether it's for commuting, weekend getaways, or simply enjoying the open road. This shift toward affordable motorcycles is not just a passing trend, it's the future of the industry. As more consumers turn to motorcycles as an alternative to cars, manufacturers will need to adapt to meet the needs of a new generation of riders. The future will be about bikes that are lightweight, easy to ride, and efficient, not just powerful and stylish. The rise of electric motorcycles will also play a crucial role in shaping the future of the industry. As more manufacturers embrace electric technology, motorcycles will become even more affordable to operate, with lower maintenance costs and fewer emissions. The shift towards electric bikes could further accelerate the trend toward more accessible motorcycles for everyday riders. Yamaha has set the stage for this transformation, positioning itself as a leader in the future of motorcycling. As the Bolt R-Spec proves, the future of motorcycles isn't just about what riders want, it's about what they need. Yamaha's focus on value, performance, and practicality could very well define the future of the industry for years to come. The old rules are gone, and Yamaha just proved it. If you believe in riding for the ride, not the brand, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and drop a comment to tell us what you think. And if someone you know is thinking of buying a cruiser, send them this video first.